So you just spent shitloads of money creating a shiny new TVC, but you're getting no results. Come, let's talk about it. So I'm going to take it back in history, how shiny TVCs came to be. Back then, brands had only one channel where they could showcase their TV commercials, which is terrestrial TV stations. So they created shiny new commercials, most times spending a quarter to half of the marketing budget creating these beautiful commercials. They buy airtime or buy ad spots on programs and they put it on there, hoping for the best. That's how brands did it. But today, it's a lot different. There's all sorts of channels where people consume video content, and there's all sorts of channels where brands can put the video and engage their customers. So you got to think differently from back then. So back then, brands used to create really expensive TV commercials by hiring agencies who would then hire high-level production companies that would come from outside the country, especially from South Africa, and come and create beautiful TV commercials for them. Then they get the finished product, which is a video. Then buy ad spots or buy airtime on channels and put their commercials on there. That's how it was done. So then it was only high-level videos that were created for brands, and which was kind of limiting because there's so much communication that brands need to do today. You can't afford to hire high-level production companies with high-level directors that charge in dollars to create commercials for you. It's not going to work. It makes no sense today. So I'm going to give a case study now by comparing two unique commercials. One of them was for Star Nigeria, which was shot about 13 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. The title of the commercial was Sunrise to Sunset because I produced the behind-the-scenes documentary for it. It was for Star. Star was a big brand then, having huge budgets, creating reality shows, creating big commercials, and spending a lot of money. The ad budget was in the billions.
Off the back of the Caber. This is Cardo. He's done it! Again, it's Cardo who scores for Nigeria.
Drink responsibly.
The second commercial I'm going to say is a particular one, as at the time the NCC, which is the Nigerian Communications Commission, introduced number portability or mobile number portability, whereby you could port your number from one telco to the next. So MTN created one which was called Add-on Port, which featured Saka.
You too can switch to MTN and still retain your number from other networks. Walk into any MTN authorized outlet and send the word port to 3232.
MTN, everywhere you go.
So the Star commercial, I believe, cost about 1.2 million euros as at that time, which was a big deal. It was shot by Stink. Stink is a globally renowned production company. I think they're based out of Germany, but they have representation in all countries, all sorts of countries all over. And the MTN commercial, which Add-on Port commercial, was produced by Audiovisual First, directed by Mr. Yinka Oduni, who was at the time the MD of Audiovisual First, and it was shot within the studio in the Audiovisual First building. So compare a 1.2 million euro commercial to a few million naira. I mean, the Add-on Port commercial was about a few million naira. I don't think it was up to 10 million naira. Compare those budgets and compare the impact. Which of these two can you remember? Which of these two is still fresh in your memory? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Let's hear your thoughts. For me, the more memorable of those two, obviously, is the Add-on Port commercial because it was such a hit. And it had such an impact, and it was crucial to MTN's strategy in the mobile number portability scheme. It costs just a tiny fraction of the budget of the Star commercial, which should send a message to you, brand managers, marketing directors. It's not about the big budget commercials. Big budget commercials today are not as effective. It's as simple as that. So let's talk about why big budget commercials are not as effective as they used to be. Let's talk about why you're not achieving results with your video content. Number one, you need to approach video from a video marketing perspective. What is video marketing? It's beyond video production. Anybody can create a video, which is video production. But how does that video travel? Where does it go? How does it engage? And how do you measure the ROI of that video? That is the entire gamut of video marketing. And you need to approach every single video from that perspective. You and your team or your agency, you need to think about, first of all, what are the formats that you can output that video into? Are you outputting for mobile? In that case, you're going to think of the aspect ratios. Is it portrait? Is it landscape, which is 16:9 or 9:16? Is it square videos for Instagram? Is it TikTok videos? Format is important. So you need to be very conversant with the different formats that you can create videos in. Secondly, you need to know what channels you are putting this video on. So you need either your agency or your in-house marketing team. You need to be able to know and understand fully how video works on different channels. Putting in a video on LinkedIn is very different from putting a video on TikTok or Instagram. Why? Because LinkedIn has different metrics that you use to increase or improve the engagement. Same applies to TikTok, same applies to Instagram. So you need to know all these things. So when you're engaging your agency or a production company, you need to either have an in-house marketing team that approaches videos from a video marketing perspective, or you ensure that whoever you hire or whichever company you hire understands what video marketing is. It's beyond creating pretty videos. You have to know how to milk the video and ensure it serves the purpose why it was created in the first place. Number two, the second reason why your videos are not achieving the goals that you set out to is because there's just not enough sustenance material. Sustenance is key today in every kind of content you put out there, especially on social media. What is your sustenance strategy? How do you ensure that video lives on or your communication lives on for a period of time? It's beyond putting one pretty video. One pretty video will be forgotten. So either it's forgotten or it is monotonous eventually. How many times you want to watch a commercial, no matter how fantastic it is. The audience of today watches content once and they move on. Most likely than not, they don't go back to rewatch. So what do you do to refresh that messaging? You could use several of these methods. Number one, create cut downs or create, re-edits of your shiny TV commercial. So what I mean by re-edits, your original TV commercial could be maybe 1 minute, 60 seconds. So you could create 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 45 second cut downs of this video. And it's not just, telling the same story. You could mix and match, introduce other elements into the video to just create something that is a bit refreshing for the audience to watch. Number two, your BTS material. Your BTS material, you'll be shocked how important they can be in creating engagement. So for instance, you have an A-level actress or an A-level celebrity that features in your video. So how did that celebrity travel from his or her house to the set? How did the person engage on the set? How is the person a cool person in front of the production crew? All of that content can be created into BTS material. It can be shared. It's a snippet or bite-sized content, that can be shared and reshared by your audience, because number one is the celebrity that is driving this content. Especially when you're creating big budget commercials, ensure you have a team that is creating BTS material. There's so many BTS content creators out there creating amazing stuff with their mobile phones only. You'll be shocked at the kind of content they create for you. So all of this BTS content can be used for your brand's social media, and you'll be shocked how much engagement they generate. Another kind of sustenance material is creating totally new kind of content, although it has to be related to the original TV commercial. Remember, we're talking about a shiny big budget commercial, if that's what your brand wants to do. For instance, if you do a commercial that features a big celebrity, you could create user-generated content. If the commercial features a certain kind of dance, you could create user-generated content where all the fans of the artist, all the fans of the brand, create their own version of the dance, that kind of thing, using a hashtag, and use that to collate user-generated content, which can be reposted. You can even give some sorts of prizes at the end of the day for those with the highest likes. That's a lot of engagement you can generate for your brand using, sustenance material. So these are different ways you can create sustenance material for your brand. So ultimately, I'm not here to talk about brands that spend big budgets on TV commercials. No. I mean, if you have the budget, why not spend it? Create amazing TV commercials, create pretty pictures, create an action sequence, if you would, that will be in a TV commercial. Remember, sustenance is key. You must make that content work for your brand. Creating just one big budget TV commercial is most likely not going to change the perception your customers have about your brand. It is the strategy that works. So if you don't have a good video marketing strategy, you need to, one, engage a video marketing agency, not just a video production company, or task your creative agency to share with you their video marketing strategy for the content that you plan to create. So yeah, I think that about wraps today's episode about, I spent a shitload of money on a brand new shiny TVC, but it's not achieving results. I hope you've learned 1 or 2 tips and tricks from this video. My name is Soji Ogunaike again, and I'm a video producer, director, editor, colorist, and consultant. Stay tuned to this channel because we'll be giving you weekly tips on how to get the most from your video content for your brand. Remember, subscribe, click the notification icon, and stay tuned for the next video.